Hey y'all, this is your K-pop auntie Carly, and I am back with another 3Racha reaction. We have Stray Kids in the form of the production team here, and this is early guys in their mixtapes. And this one it was a reaction. It was a request as well, but I just happened to have gotten to it on the chronological list. I just went with 3Racha. I started with their first mixtape, and I'm just kind of going straight through. And this one was next. In the requestor said that he was 16. J1, aka Han Jisung, was 16 when he wrote this. So we'll see what a quite young Han was thinking about and putting down in lyrics at that age. I mean, that's 16. I was not writing song lyrics, and if I was, it was probably horrendous because I was 16. Go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and subscribe so that you can see when I'm coming out with all sorts of new stuff, especially as Stray Kids are making comebacks. I'm going to try to cover new stuff as it comes out throughout the week. And check out Patreon. I have a public page over there that's free for all, where stuff like blocked discography is and some free episodes of stuff. So check it out. All right, and I got my volume settings and everything down last week, and then my computer decided to reset everything. That was awesome. I love tech. That's great. So let's see where my volume is at, and I am going to try to get everything back to normal again. It is there we go. So we got a little static. It's not so much piano as music box type. I guess it is piano. I'm finding oasis in the desert. And what I'm going to do is, first time through, I know there's lyrics on the page here, but I'm not going to pay attention to them because I just want to pay attention to his voice and the instruments. I'll go through again and actually read everything to see what he's talking about, but I just want to focus on the sound of it first. 넌 잡히지 않을 걸 알아도 멀리서 일렁이는 형태를 보며 뻗친 내 팔이 가까이 갈수록 넌 무셔 못될 거야 나의 두 눈을 또 감어 내 친구들아 응원해줘 내가 잡을 수 있게 무릎을 꿇는 것은 추진력을 얻기 위함 절대 지지 않을 거야 두 팔이 묶여도 두 발로 당당하게 그 거리를 누벼만 쉬고 싶지 않아 내 사람들 위에 더 발버둥쳐야 되지는 탕 속에서 혹여 그게 날 삼킬래 필지라도 수영하겠어 터미네이터처럼 내 엄지를 들고 I'll be back home. Okay, first impression, I'm going to back it up just, that's the volume, I do that all the time. I'm going to back it up just a hair, because I'm digging this already. It's got like I'm not used to, it's not the first time I've heard the mismatch of rap put together with like sheer instrumentals like that. That's not like the hip-hop instrumentals, you know? I like it. I like the instruments in here. It sounds so good, and his tone when he's rapping is really getting me too. There's some sort of, I can't quite place the emotion in it yet, but there's an emotion in there. I'll have to try to place what I think it is, and he's going friggin' fast too. He's going fast. Ooh, nice. 주변의 반응이 갈렸지 반했어 다시 반으로 내게 격려의 소리를 하지만 그렇다 이야기는 흘러가지고 부에 다시 산으로 I see 엄마 아빠도 말했지 힘들면 언제나 그만둬 그 말을 듣고 바로 신호했지 정신 잡고 yeah. So hard, so 가와 슈다두 솔직히 이제 거의 다 왔는데 여기서 도망가면 겁쟁이가 되나요? 나는 사실 너무나도 여려 검은 밤만 되면 무서워서 잠 못 자죠 상상 속의 친구가 내게로 말을 거죠 이제까지 잘했으니 야구. This might honestly be my favorite rap from him. Like he spits fire sometimes, and he does really good in some of the Stray Kids stuff, but I like when everything is put together, from the music to just the way that he's rapping,
Like, I'm just getting caught up in it. I think this might be my favorite from him. Okay.
Take a deep breath. 나를 재정비한 후 신기루를 다시 쫓네. 재원이 봤던 신기루는 그저 동화 속에서 날
sounds so good.
네 소부화 속에 나오는 양치기 소년 성공이 나타났다 계속 헛소리지. 주변의 반응이 갈렸지 반했어 다시 반으로 내게 격려의 소리를 하지만 그렇다 이야기는 흘러가지 공부해 다시 산으로 I see Thank you 고마워 걱정해줘서 Thank you 나도 물론 돌아가고 싶어 하지만 난 아직 이뤄야 할 게 많아 이루어지지 않더라도 후회할 테니까 I see 거기서 딱 기다려 언젠간 잡아서 이뤄내볼 테니까 시계 태엽이 잠시 멈춰도 꽃은 언제나 피우게 돼 있잖아 널 잡기 위해 18년을 기대했어 그러니까 you are mine 거기서 딱 기다려 언젠간 잡아서 이뤄내볼 테니까 시계 태엽이 잠시 멈춰도 꽃은 언제나 피우게 돼 있잖아 일렁거리는 환상극의 꽃신기루라도 난 널 잡을 테니까
It's gonna stop abruptly. Okay. Yeah. That, like, wow. I really enjoyed that. I do think that this is going to be my favorite rap from Han. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to go back through again and see what the lyrics are, because as I was glancing up, it looks like it's packed with lyrics. I mean, he's going fast, and just looking through this, all the lyrics pages are full. You know, there's full lines on there. So I feel like there's gonna be a lot in here. And what is that emotion I was trying to pinpoint that his voice had? It's almost like a yearning. I don't know. But yeah, this one got me. I like this one. I like the sound of it overall. The instruments, his voice when he raps. I give it 2 thumbs up already. I would totally playlist this. And there honestly aren't a ton of 3Racha songs that I'm on the playlist with. You know, I'm saying, oh yeah, they're good. You know, they can see the development and everything. I would playlist this one. This is good. I'm gonna turn it down a bit so I can read over top better. I'm probably gonna have to pause it because of how fast he goes. I can't talk as fast as he raps. That might be a little too low. We'll figure it out. Oops. I'm finding oasis in the desert. It's the season when the desert remains unchanging. I'm walking on the sand and I can't seem to see anything. I am unfamiliar with seasons in the desert. Obviously, a desert probably has seasons just like any other climate. I'm guessing there's a season in the desert in which things are like every day is just like the other, like the temperature and everything just remains the same. I'm walking on the sand and I can't seem to see anything. Yeah, I've never been in a desert, but I have been in the middle of Lake Michigan, and Lake Michigan is large enough that you can't, like, if you go out into it, you can't see land anywhere. So I know at least what it feels like to look around and not be able to see anything. I must find it. I'm still looking for it, though. I know I won't ever catch it. I see something swaying from afar. I don't know. We don't know what it is yet, I don't think. He's saying it. I must find it, but we don't know what it is. I'm still looking for it, though. And maybe he doesn't know what it is. I don't know. I know I won't ever catch it. I see something swaying from afar, so he has this impression of something, maybe it. As I'm getting closer, it's too bright, so I stretch out my hand to cover my eyes. I thought that I could get it all without having to... both my eyes are closed again. So I guess that's being in the desert, where you got the sun reflecting off the sand and everything, stretch it out, and you close the eyes and everything to try to keep from the brightness. Support me, my friends, so I can reach it. Kneeling down to gain the momentum I won't ever lose. Okay, so there's some optimism there. Kneeling down to gain the momentum. I'm guessing that's a runner's pose, you know, getting into runner's pose, or honestly, when you're trying to go against a headwind or something, if you've ever been in a headwind, you kind of got to kneel down and put your shoulder into walking against it. I won't ever lose. Even if my two hands are tied, I keep walking on the streets confidently with my 2 feet. I don't want to take a rest. I wonder why he thinks his hands are tied. Yeah, I have to struggle more for the people who support me. If I fall into a huge puddle of mud, I'm guessing that's continue to the next. I have to struggle more for the people who support me. If I fall into a huge puddle of mud, even if it sucks me down, I'll swim back up. Then I'll put my thumbs up like the Terminator. It's been a while since I've seen the Terminator. What did the Terminator put his thumbs up for? I'm trying to remember what. Maybe all's good. I mean, that's all's good. Hey, I just fell into this huge puddle of mud. I got back out. All's good. I'm guessing that's what something along those lines. But yeah, struggling because he has people that are, what was it? Relying on him. Is that what that said? I have to struggle more for the people who support me. Not rely on him, but support him. So he feels like he has support and that he needs to keep going because he has that support. Okay. Love this. I'll be back home. And it's like it feels hopeful there. The mirage that J1 saw seemed to be a folk tale that arose from an oral fairy tale. Oh yeah, because those are 2 different things, and I'm guessing there's 2 different Korean words for it from what I can see there. The mirage that the J1 saw seemed to be a folktale that arose from an oral fairy tale. And yeah, those are different. Oral fairy tales are called oral because they're not written down. They're just passed down through the generations, and nobody really writes them down. They're just told around the fire. They're told by, a mom or a dad to the kid going to bed. And then the folktale is more along the lines of, it's actually been recorded a little bit that, it's the folktale it's part of a culture. It's because the folk are the people, the people who are, folk is usually, in English at least, used as a word for more rustic people, the folks, hard to explain. But yeah, kind of that more rustic countryside folk tale, so it's something within a culture that arose from just being passed down from generations. You're telling stuff. So the mirage that J1 saw seemed to be a folktale that arose from an oral fairy tale. So he's seeing something. I don't know if that something is it, that it hasn't been defined yet. But yeah, the folktales is they're not true, but they have a basis in truth at the same time, like they're trying to tell a story about morality or to teach a lesson or something. Interesting lyric. They said that the shepherd boy from Aesop's Fables became successful and the nonsense continued. Okay, Aesop's Fables. Aesop is Greek, I do believe, and recorded fables from those times. What was the shepherd boy in Aesop's Fables? Oh, gosh. It's been a while since I've read Aesop's Fables. Do I have it in my bookcase? No, I must have gotten rid of that one. I used to have the fables in my bookcase. Ooh, yeah, you'll have to, if you guys are more familiar, like off the top of your head, like I said, I've read it, but I can't remember what the shepherd boy from Aesop's Fables was. He became successful, and the nonsense continued. So yeah, that's kind of one of those things where Aesop's Fables, it does that thing where it teaches the morality, it teaches a lesson, so I'm guessing the shepherd boy did something, and the lesson was that he became successful, or he succeeded in his mission, or whatever it was, that something good happened out of it. And okay, so now I'm starting to piece things together. And because of that, because of that thing that he did, and he became successful, but then J1 says, and the nonsense continued. In other words, doing that thing is going to bring success. Like, if you act in this moral way, if you do the right thing, if you X, Y, Z, then success will follow, and he's saying that's nonsense, which kind of does now, because I was wondering, this mirage that connects to that saying that xy equals z, 1 plus 2 equals 3, is nonsense when it comes to doing the right thing. Doesn't necessarily equal success, and he's saying there that the mirage, his mirage that he had, comes from maybe this kind of thing, where parents, where society tells you that doing the right thing, doing this, doing XYZ, doing all this stuff gets you to a certain outcome. And he's saying that's a mirage. That's nonsense. Got it. Okay. Keep talking. People around me have divided reactions, half to half to half, and to half of it is the sound of encouragement for me. That's a wordplay that because it's this exact same thing. Up here of the same words to the slightly different word. So I'm guessing Benesso is half to half to half right there, and to half of it. That's a slightly different word. So there's a wordplay going on there that I don't get. Let me know what it is if you do. People around me have divided reactions, half to half to half, and to half of it is the sound of encouragement for me. So that might be a fraction, so half to half is a quarter, to half is an eighth, to half is like a 16th. Is that what he's saying? Like a 16th of it is encouragement for me, and all the rest is not? I don't know if that's what that means. But since then, all the stories have disappeared and have abruptly gone back to the mountains. Let me get the next lyric here. Okay, no, I thought it might, Okay, but since then, all the stories have disappeared and have abruptly gone back to the mountains. I'm gonna guess that these stories are the fables. So since that time, I was told all of these fables and folktales and stuff about this success coming from doing the right thing. Since then, all the stories, the fables, have disappeared and have abruptly gone back to the mountains. I'm guessing back to the mountains means kind of like back to the folks, back to that, back to that rustic beginning. They've all gone back. Okay. And now he sees, I see. Interesting. I don't know if that's what that means, but I feel like he's saying that he now gets it, that all those fairy tales that are trying to teach a morality and trying to teach to do the right thing and that the right outcome will come out of it, that's all retreating now. That's all going back to where it came from, and now he sees. Now he sees how it really is. That's just my first impression of what I feel like that's saying. Mom and Dad told me, if it gets too hard, you can stop anytime. It's okay. After hearing that, I signaled right away and got a hold of my mind. Okay, so Mom and Dad, I'm guessing even though they support him, they're saying, hey, if it gets too hard, you can stop. It's okay. Don't worry about it. They're trying to, that's a parent thing, man. They're trying to give him a fallback to say, it's okay to come home. It's okay. But he's hearing it's okay to quit. After hearing that, I signaled right away and got a hold of my mind. I don't know what I signaled right away might mean. I signaled right away. Let's keep going. I signaled right away. I got a hold of my mind. It's so hard. So God, what should I do? I don't know. Okay, so I'm guessing he's saying like I signaled as in as I'm trying to reinterpret the word signaled because that's weird. I just feel like I got it. He tried to take a hold of his mind and say, okay, you got this. He's trying to get into the right mind space, the right head space. And he's saying it's so hard. I can imagine the life that he chose is so hard. Honestly, I'm almost there now. If I run away from here, will I be a coward? Is that okay? So, yeah, 16-year-old young Han saying, just breaking it down, how hard it is in the idol lifestyle, trying to make something of himself, trying to debut, trying to, trying to get there. Hey, honestly, I'm almost there. If I run away from here, will I be a coward? He's asking himself if, quitting makes him a coward. And he's asking, is it okay? Truthfully, I'm very weak-hearted. When the night's getting too dark, I'll be too scared to sleep. Honesty. Again, he say honestly, truthfully, as being honest, I'm weak-hearted. When the night's getting too dark, I'll be too scared to sleep. My imaginary friend's talking to me because you've done well so far. Now do whatever you want. So it's not just his family who's told him that it's okay if you quit. Now it's his imaginary, I wonder why imaginary friends, if that's... Because he isn't saying my friends are saying this to me. He's saying my imaginary friends. He's talking to these people in his head. And I feel like we all have that. Like, my first impression of that immediately is when I try to think through things in my head, and I'm sure a lot of people are like this, when you try to think through things in your head, you have this conversation with this mystery someone, or these mystery people, and I think that's probably what he's talking about. He's having conversations in his head, and he's calling the person that he's talking to instead of just talking to himself. He's talking to his, imaginary friends. And, those imaginary friends are saying, because you've done well so far, now do whatever you want. Kind of like mom and dad is like, hey, you've gone a long way. You've done really well. Now, if you give up if you want to, it's okay. You can go home type of deal. Okay. So boys, shade of me, take a deep breath. After reorganizing my goals, I'm chasing the mirage again. Interesting. Okay, shade of me. Take a deep breath. Shade, I don't know which way shade is supposed to go there because he's singing in English, and shade can mean a couple of different things. Shade can mean literally, the shade, taking shelter from the sun, the shade that like a tree gives off, which would go along with the desert talk. He's in a desert, it's really bright out, and, shade would be very welcome at that time. It's a rest, it's a respite, it's taking the heat off. Shade in English can also mean basically a ghost. A shade is it's a ghost. So shade of me. I don't know if he's talking like ghost of me. Or if that relates somehow to like taking the shade in the desert. Or, the shade that cast off by him in the desert, his shadow, okay. I'm gonna have to think on that. After recognizing my goals, I'm chasing the mirage again. So he's saying, hey, after reorganizing my goals, like after seeing everything, he's kind of breaking things down. And there is that point in everybody's life, hopefully, where you see what you were raised as and all those values, and then you kind of start taking on your own and internalizing it and making it your own. So he said, okay, here's the goals, here's what everybody told me, and now I'm kind of bringing this into my own, and here are my goals. This is me. This isn't what society told me. This isn't what mom and dad told me. This isn't what, friends and stuff told me. These are my goals, but he's chasing the mirage again. He's chasing that fable again of going after the right steps will get him that goal. So he's admitting that he's chasing a mirage, that he's... Okay, hang on. Keep going. The mirage that Jane once saw seemed to be a folktale. Back to the chorus. Thank you for worrying for me. Thank you. Of course I want to go back. Okay, so yeah, thank you for worrying for me. And that's that whole thing. Whereas, like, I recognize that you're saying, you can always come back because you're worrying for me. Thank you. Of course I want to go back. Like, of course. Thank you. But there is still a lot for me to achieve. Even if I can't find my way, I'll be there. Yeah, so he's saying, hey, thanks for extending the offer to come back home, but I got a lot to do still. Yeah, and I think that in his last bit there, like, even if I can't find my way, I'll be there. I don't know if that means that even if I can't find my way back home, or even if I can't find my way to the achievement of my dreams, I'll be there. I think that means I'll still be with you. I'll still like I still love you, got you, all that good stuff. Just wait right there. I'll be there and reach you someday. Even if the clock hands stop for a while, the flowers will definitely bloom someday. Okay, I'm I'm thinking again. He's talking to mom and dad, talking to the people who are saying it's okay. He's like, just put that on hold. You guys, wait there. I'll be there and I'll reach you someday. Someday I'll be back. Someday, we can come back together again. Even if the clock can't stop for a while, the flowers will definitely bloom someday. So even if it seems like time is stopping, I don't know if that means that he feels like time isn't advancing for him, like he's not advancing, he's not making any progress, even though that is what's going on. The flowers will definitely bloom someday. The fruits, there will still be fruits to his labors, I'm guessing. I'm probably wrong on most of these. I've been waiting to catch you for 18 years. That's too fast. What's going on? Okay. That's why now you are mine. So the person said that he wrote this when he was 16, but they just said, I've been waiting to catch you for 18 years. So, I don't know. I guess I'll figure that out later. For 18 years, that's why now you are mine. So, what is you? Is you it? Or is you something else? That's why now you are mine. Just wait right there. I'll be there and reach you someday, even if the clock ends. A wavering fantasy, even if it's only a mirage, I'll definitely catch you. All right, so definitely he's ends on an optimistic note a little bit, that even if he still thinks it may be a mirage in the desert, achieving that catching that he still says, I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going, and I'm gonna catch it. I'm gonna catch that it. So I like this. I think this is my favorite J1, my favorite Han song. Overall, just everything got me good, and the lyrics are fantastic. He packed a bunch into this. So I'm playlisting that one, and this is a really long recording because when guys throw down lyrics like this, and when you actually have to think about it, I tend to do longer videos. So if you ever see a video, I'm like, oh gosh, that's almost 30 minutes. Probably because I'm talking way too much about the lyrics, because they're throwing down stuff like Aesop's fairy tales. Aesop's fables. Anyways, okay. I'm going to get about doing stuff. I have stuff to do. But I'm probably going to do a lot of videos today. It's actually a Saturday right now, and I'm pre-recording some stuff because that's adorable. I never know when I'm not going to be able to record. So you have yourselves have a wonderful day.